So we've got it's Cady Groves, correct?
Cady Groves.
Not to be mistaken with Cady Grooves.
Cady Groves or Cady Groves or
I'm sure,
Candy.
Cody
really?
Graves.
Candy?
Cody Graves.
Cody.
Graves.
Caden Scruvenstein is a name I made up for myself. Actually, I have a whole bunch of names for myself. Here's the longest one. Cadenzia de la Suarez Gruben Hammerstein since the 6th senior junior.
You don't have a lot of time on your hands, do you?
No, I actually have no life. But I signed my last newsletter with that, and all these kids were like,
Yeah, they're like, who? Okay, that's
really your name, or you just
little above over their heads, right?
You're lying to us at this point.
So, this is your first time in Cincinnati?
I think I've been through here on tour, but when you're on tour, you know, you never see anything.
What is it like? You're just sitting here a minute ago, and you were talking about how you're all coughing up a lung and everything. How do you stay healthy when you're on the road, especially this time of year?
Well, see, there's a lot of juice involved that I should be drinking. I drink a lot of coffee, which is actually very drying of your throat, which is probably bad. But you have to. I take a lot of vitamins. I love vitamins. I'm like a vitamin whore. Shouldn't have said that word.
That's all right.
And I also
bleeps.
You have to make yourself sleep. Like when you're on tour, especially, it's like there's lots of other bands, and you want to hang out with people and drink or whatever at night. I can't. I just don't do it. You can't do it if you want to perform. If you care a lot, you can't do it.
You're like,
a singer.
go out and party, or
yeah,
go to sleep.
Yeah, you have to try it. You have to try to sleep anytime you can. It's so important. And he even said the other day, he's like, you know what, your voice is like so different when you sleep and when you don't sleep. It's just, it's leaps and bounds.
Get those vocal cords resting.
Get them resting.
We don't want to be like Adele over here now. You know.
But the bad part about like sleeping in hotel rooms every night is it's different air circulation, and my throat gets so dry. Like this morning it's pretty bad, but I'm trying to work it out. But
that's good.
It's just the dry heat and everything, especially because it's cold outside now. I don't want to get all scientific with you.
See, my throat's all dry too. I'm on antibiotics.
You're just nervous because I took my shirt off earlier.
It's more nervous because I'm still growing my beard out. See, it's No Shave November. We got the beards growing. So.
Yeah, I was doing No Shave November, but then my album's coming out soon, and it's like creeping everyone out.
No.
I had to shave my back and my
we
face.
don't want people to see the face with the facial hair. That'd be a little much.
I personally do, but everyone else in the world obviously doesn't. So.
What about the album? What's up with the album?
The album comes out January 3rd. I wrote every song.
Exciting. That's good. That's a big accomplishment to be able to say that you wrote every song. You know,
yeah,
a lot of people are
I'm really adamant about mentioning that because I feel like anyone can sing a good pop song, but to really write like something crazy that happened in your life into just a simple pop format and make it a great song is something different. Mm-hmm. Not saying it's better, but different. So
it's your own thing.
It's my own thing.
Do you feel that it's a little a little more risky putting your own self out there like that? Do you feel nervous putting your own material out there?
Especially because I didn't expect this album to become what it became. Because I moved to the story behind the album is actually really important for me to tell because it's going to make people connect so much with it. I actually moved to California a year and a half ago when I turned 21 to start writing my album, and I had never had anyone in my life at all that like. Not family, not anyone that I was really super close to. And I never really dated anyone, and I moved there and I started writing my album. And one of the writers I met, he was 35. And I just was crazy about him, and we just fell like in love with each other, and we were like obsessed, like totally obsessed with each other. And we had like our own language that we talked at, like it was crazy.
Like your long name that you just came up with.
Yeah, like that was actually, he helped me come up with that.
Okay.
Not we used to just mess around, like we were just so much fun together, and it was like one of those things where like when we were together we didn't want anyone else in our world. It was just, we were just like blah, like so excited to be around each other. So, you know, I told my label, like, they gave me complete, you know, artistic freedom on this because they trust me as a writer, which is awesome. I mean, I know that doesn't ever happen for new artists, so I was really stoked on that. And they were like, you know, find the people that you mesh with the best when we're setting you up in these sessions, and then tell us who you want to, like, what songs you want to use. And I was like, okay. So I was like, in my head, I was like, I want this to be our story. I want to make my album with this guy and us become huge together. Like, I want this to be like the beginning of something great for us. So I told my label that I wanted to make the album with him, and they gave me the go-ahead. So I started spending, you know, 20 hours a day with him every day for months. And we were, you know, talking about getting married and, like, looking at places together and, like, talking about getting dogs together, just, like, random stuff.
Yeah.
And then one day I was in a session and I was talking to someone, a different writer, and I was just like, I'm sorry he's late, I don't know why he's not here. And they're like, oh, well, you know, him and his girl They live, you know, kind of far away, so there's probably traffic. And apparently he had someone that he's been with for 10 years.
Oh, jeez.
Who's, like, even older than he is, and has a kid closer to my age that he's raised for the last 10 years. And,
surprise.
So then,
wow.
yeah, so then I grabbed him, made him give me her number, called her up, told her what happened.
Oh, you grabbed him?
Grabbed him.
Okay.
Below the belt line.
Okay.
He gave me her number. I called her and told her what happened, and I haven't talked to him since. And they stayed together. But I actually went through a huge depression after that, because it was, like, really hard to even, like, you go back and you think of every night, like, he said he had to go home to, like, feed his dogs, and you're like, wait a second. He was going home to her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, and then I went through and I'm obsessive already, so, like, I would just sit up for months and go over every little instance in my head. So I, like, got really depressed and started, like, losing my hair, and was just, like, this is so sad. And then my label was like, this is going to be something great. Like, we know you're, like, so
leave it to the
sad.
label to capitalize on something else.
But they were like, you're such a great writer, and if you can just, like, hone in on what you're feeling right now, like, please try. So I got out of bed and finished my album, and it's, like, such a, like, crazy story of an album. Every song.
Did you find it was a little bit more of a release to put stuff out there?
The album
so
wrote itself.
personal?
I crapped out
Okay.
that album in literally, like, just, like, no time. It just wrote itself.
Wow.
And it was scary. Like, there's one slow song on the whole album, and I only wanted one because I wanted it to really count. And it's called Your Pain. And I cried through every vocal. But I love it because it's so, even to this day, like, I listen to it, and every part of me gets chills. And anyone I show it to, they're like, oh my gosh, like, that's crazy.
Wow.
So I'm really excited. Like, every song is like that. I completely pour myself into every song in a different way, which I'm, like, so excited about. And then, once I finished the album, I couldn't listen to it for 6 months because it still hurt me too much. Like, I had to get away from it. So then I just started listening to it at my listening parties when we started promoting the single, and This Little Girl is the single. And that's really the first song that came out of that whole crappy situation. So, so that's, like, the first, like, I'm really mad sort of song. And, so that's why it's so, like, biting, and I think everyone's going to, like, love it, because everyone's felt that way. And the lyrics are, every girl's capable of murder if you hurt her. So I think everyone can really get into that at one point or another.
Security?
Yeah, you're going to be scared of me by the time I leave if you're not already, because I was walking around naked earlier. So what happened with the album is I finally had to start listening to the songs again once we were having listening parties with magazines and stuff, and then it was so weird because during my listening party in New York, in the middle of it, it hit me that I was okay. That, like, after all that depression and all that songwriting, I can look at the songs from such a different perspective now, and I'm okay. And it was, like, the coolest feeling ever. So then I was like, wait a second, I gotta write a song telling the world I'm okay to go on the album. Like, tell them that I made it out and it's okay. So I wrote a song called Live and Learn. Like, last minute, had to take a song off the album, threw it on there. And
like, we're gonna make a change here.
Yeah, I was like, and my label was like, okay, cool, do it. Like, so I put it on there, and it sums up, like, I got screwed over in such a big way, but you live and you learn, so I'm cool. Yeah, so It's like summing up everything.
Well, how about hearing something off the album? I mean,
Yeah.
geez, we're all excited now because we're like, we know where the story
Yeah,
came from, and then we're kind of like, geez, let's hear, what some of this sounds like.
Yeah, this song is called This Little Girl, and it's my single, and it's available on iTunes right now. It's only $1.29, so go pick it up. And the album comes out January 3rd. This actually, the music video for this single, This Little Girl, is out right now. It has Blake Shelton, the country superstar, in it. He's about 8 feet, 12 feet
Yeah,
tall.
especially you're a little shredded.
It looks really funny in the video because he's so tall. And I'm wearing, like, 8-inch heels, and he's still, like, just so tall. But he's a tow truck driver, and I put grease all over his face, and he's wearing an oil rig outfit that says Blake in cursive, and it's really funny. And he's wearing a hat that says Mr. Right Now, the trucker hat.
Oh, nice.
It's awesome. He's so funny. So yeah, he's in the video, so check it out, and it's really funny. I duct tape guys 6 feet off the ground in this mansion in LA.
Don't spoil the rest of the video for us.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Okay.